the NDC, on the current post-election acts of violence against supporters and sympathizers and destruction of state property by supporters of the New Patriotic Party, the NPP. Fellow countrymen and women, ladies and gentlemen of the press, I welcome you on behalf of the National Democratic Congress to our headquarters this morning, and to thank all Ghanaians, particularly the media, for contributing to the smooth and peaceful conduct of the just ended presidential and parliamentary elections. Ghana's image as a beacon of democracy in Africa, and indeed the world as a whole, has once again been boosted by the peaceful nature of the polls. However, I wish to draw your attention to a few developments that we think can ruin our enviable record. You will recall that in the run-up to the elections, leading members of the NPP made statements that sought to incite party supporters, particularly the youth, to indulge in acts of violence and destruction. For example, the campaign manager of the NPP, Mr. Mark Menu, pledged to unilaterally declare the results of the elections in contravention of the agreement reached at the all-parties meeting, IPAC. Samia Uku, the NPP National Youth Organizer, called on the youth to forcefully seize and occupy state institutions illegally should the NPP win power. And it is happening. The Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP, known popularly as Woon to me, constantly issues provocative statements which sought to undermine peace and security of the country. Kennedy Ajepon, the NPP MP for Asin Central, insulted the Inspector General of Police and expressed mistrust in the police service. In addition, the Northern Regional Chairman of the NPP also threatened to unleash violence on citizens should the Electoral Commission not declare the elections in favor of the NPP. Several NPP supporters also made hate speeches intended to incite violence. And we are seeing it today. Yeah, extreme forms of violence. The NPP have been officially declared winners of the elections. And yet, we are recording very worrying cases of violence by their supporters and activists across the entire country. As I speak to you now, the following incidents have been recorded in various parts of the country. An attack on Wafake, a popular actor who featured in most of NDC's campaign adverts. Attack and killing of NDC supporter Adunkwa Onofin, the stabbing of an NDC youth activist at the Kwame Nkrumah interchange, attacks on party supporters at Chebi in the Eastern region and in different parts of the Ashanti and Northern regions. The burning of toll booths in Fiapre in the Brong-Ahafo region, and the seizure of toll tickets and monies. Attack on the NDC communication officer in Sunyani West, who was forced out of his office at the National Health Insurance Secretariat. Illegally taking over the tourist center at the Kwame Nkrumah interchange, forceful takeover of the jobs of caterers of school feeding programs perceived to be NDC supporters, the destruction of the offices of the municipal chief executive at Ejura in the Brong-Ahafo region, in Ashanti region, corrected this. Harassing, severely beating and injuring many NDC supporters on our university campuses and other tertiary institutions and in our communities. We have many of them displaced from the schools that we have had to look for accommodation for. Many of them have been forced out of Kumasi. They are here in Accra. and were taking care of them in hotels. Besieging and looting the warehouses and stores of NADMO in Tamale by hoodlums of the NPP. Raiding the head office of NADMO in Accra, chasing out the acting national coordinator, Brigadier Zanziri, and staff of NADMO at their offices, and subjecting the Brigadier General to searches by hoodlums and marauders of the NPP. Barricading the offices of the YEA program headquarters in Accra, violent attacks on the homes of several members of the NDC, including the West Legon residence of the national chairman of the NDC, myself, by demonstrators who were carrying and displaying pictures of Nanado and the MP for that constituency, Honorable Ajaku. Cordoning off of the homes of individual artists and performers and some media personnel who are perceived as sympathizers of the NDC and preventing them from carrying out their normal duties. Shameful attack on Ms. Bell at midnight by suspected members of the NPP carrying assault rifles and a video camera and demanding that she apologize to Nanado for comments during the campaign. This dehumanizing experience has forced Ms. Bell to vacate her private residence and seek refuge elsewhere. Shameful attacks on the contractors and workers at the Kwame Nkrumah interchange, popularly known as Ghana, Dubai, has brought work to a standstill there. The pity of it all is the destruction of the colorful lights from the water fountain that flows to the admiration of all. The reported threats of ejection of NDC members and sympathizers from their rented premises by NPP landlords. Ladies and gentlemen, the residence of the mother of Honorable Benita Sena Okitidua, the Deputy Minister of State, who contested the elections, has been raided and vandalized and money stolen, properties and cars destroyed. She herself was attacked and her car stoned within 48 hours of her mother's experience. In like manner, the NDC parliamentary candidate for Ejusu in Ashanti region, Honorable Gloria Huze, nearly met a timely death. Her car completely damaged. Nearly met her untimely death. Her car completely damaged. The case is in Dwabin Court now, in Ashanti region. Our Deputy Minister and Member of Parliament for Tanonof, Dr. Hannah Bisiu, was traumatized and harassed on her journey from Techimantia to Accra, and at some point abandoned her car, which was cladded with NDC paraphernalia. And almost every NDC member cannot move peacefully now with our paraphernalia on our car. That is democracy indeed. These acts of vandalism should be condemned in no uncertain terms. They are criminal acts that must be punished. I wish to reiterate the President's call on the NPP to continue to restrain its followers and also request the security agencies to act swiftly to stop such incidents before they escalate into mass violence. We commend the police and the security agencies for their intervention so far. We wish to urge them to continue to work towards the maintenance of peace and security in the country in order to prevent violent reprisals from victims of such lawless behavior of NPP supporters. I am encouraged to repeat what I read, that we commend the police and the security agencies for their intervention so far. We wish to urge them to continue to work towards the maintenance of peace and security in the country in order to prevent violent reprisals from the victims of the lawless behavior of NPP supporters. We believe that without such irresponsible actions, will damage the country's reputation and destroy all that has been achieved in our march towards a stable democratic society. As a final word, I wish to call on our NDC members and sympathizers to remain calm and confident in the face of provocation and be assured that the leadership of the NDC is firmly behind them. The NDC will not relent on its efforts to ensure the protection of our lives and properties of its valued members. Thank you very much.
And you have leaders inciting their supporters to violence. You hear MPP people on air, and this is to the media. Please don't think that power has swung in a certain direction, so suddenly that is it. That NDC supporters MPP supporters can go on air and be saying that they are going to move into our homes, attack us, because we have stolen monies, and they're going to come and retrieve those monies. And a section of the media is salivating at such talk. It doesn't mean we can't counter. You are moving, and then people are on motorbike, and then moving around, and we don't want to get to that point. It's not because we can also move out there. We think we have invested a lot in the peace of this country. We have invested a lot in the heavy infrastructure. We don't want anything destroyed. But nobody should take our patience for granted. We open the floor. If you have any questions, you can feel.
Don't say that one. We haven't said that in this statement. But I am the leader of the party. I am saying if they attack them, they should defend themselves while seeking police protection. They should not cross their hands for MP people to butcher them to death. My friend, should they do that? For democracy? What are you saying? You withdraw that statement quickly. One of such cases is in Dwaben Court in Ashanti. And I've commended the police for rising up to the challenge and that they're doing well in bringing peace to bear on these critical actions. So I haven't said in clear words, but you should understand that our people have reported several cases to the police and the security agencies. And I commended them for working on it. I commend our party leaders, right from the branches to the constituencies, region, and nationally. You have no idea the energies we are spending on keeping our people within law and order. You have no idea, you can't imagine. But if you are waking up in the night, that a member of your party has been attacked by MPP marauders, brigadiers, in the night, what will you do? You don't go and say they should fight back and kill them because they seek to kill them. But this signal we are giving the signal so Ghanaians will know that we are bearing all these things with patience. Want the international community particularly to know before they turn around when there's one act of retaliation by any member of the NDC and say NDC is the cause. I've listed a number of them, and you are witnesses to them. There are many that we have not listed yet. We are speaking to them now.
Thank you. Thank you. We are speaking to them now.
You are thinking for us? Or you are making a recommendation? Are you thinking for us? Or you are making a recommendation? You choose to go to God through Allah. I choose to go to God through Christ. You should accept my faith. Understand? There are cases where people have been apprehended and arrested. Some are in court. In the case of Dunkwa and Osefi also, there is a murder case. A member has been murdered cold-bloodedly only because he belonged to NDC. And I'm sure a lot of the practitioners in the media are aware.
I asked this question because I've heard some members of...
When it's happening like this, I'm the national chairman. I'm speaking to Ghanaians and my people particularly. We expect Nanadu, the president-elect, should bring his people to book. Bring them to order. So if others are speaking, like you have said, from the MPP, and the hooliganism is still continuing, the brigadiery is continuing, the marauding is continuing, and people have been sacked from their homes. I'm speaking as national chairman. The appropriate person in MPP who should talk is Nanado. That again, you are saying
It's so ridiculous.
I say all die be die.
Good.
Who said all die be die?
Who said it?
Who called on the people in the MPP to pick Wamafu? Is it NDC?
Power at all cost.
No, I mean, let's be serious, my friend. I've listed acts of violence, brigadiering, and killing. And you say that we are stage managing it. Respect us a little.
Thank you.
We think. We are very responsible people. You get what I'm saying? Don't do that. It's not fair. Let me say it once again, that the security agencies are doing well for all intents and purposes to bring peace to bear on our society. That does not prevent us from cataloging and bringing to the attention of Ghanaians and the international communities that these are criminal acts and that they must be stopped. We need the media to support this call. And that's why we brought you here. We need the churches. We need civil society. We need chiefs. We need even the pretenders to know today that an end must come to this violence. That if it happened in Sierra Leone, if it happened in Liberia, Cote d'Ivoire, it can happen in Ghana. Unless we all make some concerted effort. And that's why the media is here.
Comrades, colleagues, we'll have to wrap this thing up.
Ago, Piso, Bintu. You asked the question and she walked away. Has she heard?
No, she's here. Bintu, she's here.
Have you heard my answer? Good.
Professor Mills, when he won, he left them in office for 6 months, the peace, blah, blah. Why are they doing what they are doing?
Yeah. They participate in the democratic process and also vote. So when the people of this country have spoken, and our President Mahama, considered and congratulated, just like President Mills did. In 2012, he never had it up to today. Yes. So if he does it, it's a shining example, not only for Ghanaians, but for the rest of the world. So if some other people have some agenda that they want to implement, we are sending clear signals that we are keeping our members of our party to aspire to build a pivotal democratic society. Examples worth emulating. And if our counterparts in the MPP are running haywire, they must stop. They must be told that this is a democratic society. And that we don't want the examples of such transitions that have happened in other countries nearby to happen in our country. We don't aspire for that one at all as NDC. So we must be prepared, one, to counsel our people, our supporters, and continue to counsel. But anyone who is a citizen of this country, who wants to behave as if he's in Cote d'Ivoire or Sierra Leone or Liberia, will have a measure that he will not forget of.
Thank you.
Good one there.